thousands who joined us live just in the nick of time. For those who aren't here, it only happens once on
Yeah,
Friday
on
or
Friday.
twice a week, and so 8 times a month. But you're really missing out if you're not here right now. Thank you guys for joining. My name is Jonathan. Behind the camera, we have Tui. Please say hello.
Hey, Bulavinaka, everybody in Bulad, Joshua, Kusuli. Thanks for
Lord
joining
Gus.
us.
So,
Yeah.
what do we got to talk about today? Because if you guys have questions, so we just got a bunch of headlines we're going to talk about features of our life, how we get into business. We won't get into politics. And yeah, so if you guys have questions, please let us know because this is the fun part about these is like you guys ask and then I get to answer. So and it's fun. It feels like we're having a conversation. So
Mm.
I I wouldn't and won't continue to do these unless like we actually engage with each other, right?
Yeah.
Because might as well just make a post for social media and get comments. So the whole point of this is that you talk to me and I get to talk to you. So if I talk about something interesting, then Tui will, and you have a question or comment, Tui's gonna read it out to me, and we'll talk
Mm.
about it and laugh together. Usually, it's just me being an idiot and talking about things I have no idea about. So join us. But the article that I wanted to talk about to
uh,
start, can I have that thing so I can put
oh,
my
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
on top of it?
yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys, we have such a like
GG.
I don't know how many thousands, how many tens of thousands we invested into the studio space now.
Yeah, I think it's like just 25 grand.
You can build
Yeah.
all these like this is not real. This is actually a set that you see behind me.
It's a green screen at the
Green
back.
screen,
Yeah.
that that dirty truck, everything.
Mm.
It's actually all set. So,
Yeah.
but it looks pretty real, right?
Yeah. Even the sound effect, you can hear the chickens growing.
Yeah, yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
So we have our audio master over there,
Yeah.
top, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but I want to talk about this one first.
Uh.
So Tambuya calls for an end to student brawls. So there is a lady named Linda Tambuya, and she is the minister for children, right?
Yeah.
And women.
Women. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that it?
Assistant. Is she assistant or minister?
I can't remember.
I think she's a minister. Yeah. Anyways.
Has raised serious concern about the increasing incidence of student brawls in public places. Oh, so this is like not in school.
No, there
Like
was a
that picture?
yeah, there was a
Okay.
picture from a video.
Yeah. And you
Like
saw the video?
yeah, and I've been trying to look for that video
Yeah.
the whole day today, but I
Where-
think
Oh, the World Harvest Center. So
Yeah.
was it right in Kinoya?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like these two kids, they were like beating each other up, and like all the students were just watching, like cheering on, yeah, yeah. And then this guy came, tries to stop them, like hey, you guys stop, but they just kept going on, and then another guy
Same
just
school?
no, but like a man, like
Yeah.
but
So
I
these
think
two-
no, one was on outings and another one was in uniform.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they were just beating each other up, and then the guy tried to stop them, but then the second guy came, got one long stick. One, two, tawasa. I started running from each end. One of them got like, still got the beating up, and then the other guys tried to stop the guy with a stick.
No, man.
And then next guy, the guy with the uniform, kept running like another man was like chasing him.
So it's like civil police or like whatever you call it, like
Yeah.
self-policing. That's good. So the minister says this scenario has become a common occurrence in recent years, and she calls on citizens to be alert and look out for the safety of youth and children, especially in public places. Tabuya says violent attacks of this nature are criminal acts that must end. Oh yeah, so she was referring to this video. So, did you ever get in a fight when you were in high school? Or you don't want to talk about it?
I think no, I haven't. Yeah, I try to avoid, getting into all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got in a fight. A cheap shot at a guy in the nuts one time.
Oh, during rugby?
Yeah.
I did that too. Yeah. Yeah.
It was so funny because we were in Iraq.
Yeah.
And I was on the bottom and he was like he was stomping on me. I can't remember where he was stomping though.
Yeah.
Like like just to like
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
ruck,
yeah,
but he wasn't
yeah.
even the scrum half. Like
Oh,
if you,
he was just there
I
trying to
expect, yeah,
just
he was like he was a flanker. Because I expect it from a scrum half, right? Like it's just, if you're in the scrum half way, you're gonna get stomped. But this guy was just like stomping on me, and I was laying there, and his legs were just spread, and I just like, not from the front, but like, because he was like over top of me like this, and so I like came from behind,
Yeah.
like from the gooch side, and like balls first.
Ooh.
He was like, "Oh, dude!" Like, because there was like lots of people in the
Yeah,
house
yeah.
at that time.
Did he know it was
He's
you?
like, "Dude, I'm trying to have kids."
Ah!
I thought he was gonna say that. He's like, "Dude, really?" I was like, "Yeah, wow." Like, stop. He's like, "I'm trying to have kids." And then we like go off like the property around. I was like laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh." So, yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe this could go like either of two ways, but I always figured like because I was like bigger than most of the people in my class, like growing up, the people just never picked fights with me. And I was also like the nice guy, I guess. Like nobody ever really had a reason, I don't think, to pick fights with me. But in our graduating class,
Because you were big.
yeah, and my graduating class in Canada had 36 people in it, and 32 were boys. So there's 4 girls in our class. It was a real sausage fest. Oh, dude. So hardcore. But the weird part was we were all so like academically competitive. Yeah. And for whatever reason, and like maybe this is a cliche, but like even when I go back to the school, like I've heard from teachers get messages like we were still like the favorite class like they ever had. Probably because we like were so competitive.
Yeah.
In doing what the teacher asked us to do, right? For whatever reason. So we never really had brawls. But maybe it's also because there's never girls to fight over.
Right.
Well,
right.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
But
do you guys think that like having like an even? Do you think it's more likely for a class to have brawls if like there's 15 girls, 15 guys, or if there's like 4 girls and like 26 guys? Maybe, but maybe like there should be more brawls because there's less girls, so you're gonna fight over like before.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you ever seen like brawls in schools?
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was lots.
Yeah.
There was not lots. There was a few. There was fights at our school.
What would be the funniest one you've ever seen?
It would have been so. How do I say this without being racist? No, but like, so I come from a community in Canada that has like a lot of First Nations people, and so it's actually the term that Fijians use to describe First Nations is like super racist now.
Right.
Because everybody in Fiji calls them Red Indians.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Like you're like Indian, like like Red Indians. You're like, I'm like,
oh
yeah.
I didn't like honestly, I didn't even know that was racist.
Right.
Of like saying that.
Right.
Because I thought that,
Yeah.
it's
so
nothing.
like even like you're not supposed to say Aboriginal. You're not supposed to say Indian. You're not supposed to say Native. You're not supposed to say Red Indian. So I mean, it changes every few years, right? But the nice thing for me
everything
was like,
just keeps changing every year.
Exactly. The nice thing for me was like being like, as that girl said, no cap between races. So like I could be like I could hurl like insults at my white friends. I could hurl insults at my native friends, and I could be part of the natives or I could be part of the white guys. Or
So in the middle.
So I was like always like in the middle, because like people who are like me usually find themselves like, and I just talked to somebody recently who found themselves like not fitting in ever in life, because they're like I don't belong to like the white, or I feel rejected by both. Between a couple girls, one girl in my class, one girl who's not, and they are ruthless, dude. Like pulling hair, knees to the face, like stomps on the ground, like soccer kicks while they're on the ground. Like they usually like when guys fight, it's like you knock a guy out or he falls on the ground, and it's like I win. But like these chicks, it's like one got knocked on the ground, and then the other one just takes like a running like Damien McKenzie to the face, and it's like, oh my gosh, like these girls are hardcore. So
that's crazy.
That's probably like, when they have like the long, like they have long straight black hair, and so like, when you get like just like handfuls of hair, it's like, holy crap, it looks like somebody like brush cutting in like a soldier grass field.
Yeah.
Like, just stuff everywhere. So guys, I was doing some spraying this week, and I got my cough back.
Yeah.
So I was wearing full respirator, like dual mask respirator, and like safety gear and everything. But somehow I think something got in and settled on my lungs. So that's why I'm coughing, by the way. But how about you? Any rough fights that you saw?
Yeah, it was my friend and a girl. And he got beat up so bad by this
Good.
girl, and
Good.
she was like taller than him, and he
Dude.
was like this, like
Me
below
too.
her breast.
That's what you get for fighting a girl.
And boy, I just felt so sorry, man. Like
You
he
did?
just tossed my friend like one little kid,
That's funny. That's funny.
beat him up so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you get from laying your hands on a world on a girl. Freaking wow. You're like, I don't know that guy. You're all like,
I guysed him. I
you're all
guysed
like
him.
Peter and
Like
Jesus,
everybody was like there.
who's
Like
this guy's
yeah.
friend? Like, I don't know. I've seen the guy before. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's funny. What is that?
Ellie.
Bumble.
Huh?
Oh my god.
Dude.
I thought that was the biggest ball you're ever taken in your life.
Okay, here comes the grog.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Finally, Sam's joining us today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what this made me think of was a story about Steph's dad. And so in Steph's dad's eyes, like that's the last name is Reimer, and so like Reimers don't lose fights. And so Steph's dad came home from school one day. Stephanie is my wife, by the way. And so her dad came home from school one day, and he told his dad, like, you know, what happened at school, and like somebody punched me, and hey, you already done, boy, man. What are you talking about?
No, I lumber for you.
Huh?
Bula. Burare.
This cough, sorry guys. So, Steph's dad comes home from school. His dad's like, you know, how did school go? He's like, oh, some guy cheap shotted me. And then his dad said to him, like, hey, Reimers don't lose fights. So he gets in the car and he tells Steph's dad to get in the car with him. Steph's grandpa drives her dad back to the school to see the guys, or to find the guys that like beat him up. And there was two or three guys sitting on like a wall. And Steph's dad, and so he's like, oh yeah, it was that guy. And it was actually the biggest guy of the group. And so her grandpa was like, okay, well, go knock him out, because like we don't lose in fights, so go knock him out. So Steph's dad walks up to the group and he chooses the smallest guy in the group and he knocks the smallest guy out. And he walks back to and he's
Like you,
So
come
there's
here.
3 guys sitting on this wall, and the biggest guy is the one who beat him up. And then he walks up to the, and the guys are like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Why is he coming back?
Yeah.
And then he just walks up to the smallest guy.
Yeah.
Walks back to the car. And just that's like, oh yeah.
Yes,
That's
I
like, you didn't know that that's the small guy. And this wasn't the guy. So, that's what this story reminds you of. But this being said, for like my boys, me and Stephanie have told them, like, you never throw the first punch, but if somebody punches you, you punch them back. So you guys
Pick
maybe
the
that's,
smallest
like,
one and punch the small one.
yeah.
And the smallest one.
And then if you guys a group that attacks you, you go for the smallest one. So I don't know. Maybe you guys think that's not a. Maybe you guys don't think that's the best.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that's on. That button's on here.
Oh yeah.
The green button. Give me some charge. There we go. Perfect. Maybe that's not the best way to teach your kids. What do you guys think? I think it's fair. Like, if somebody, punches you, then
Gotta punch
I
back.
guess that's your permission, right? But actually, that's not according to the Bible. If you get punched, like if you get slapped on one cheek, you should turn the other cheek, right? But I should look at. That's the part that gets quoted all the time in the Bible. But I should look at the context of that scripture and see what it's actually talking about. So I'm pretty sure that's it, though. Any questions?
What's today's topic?
What's today's topic?
Mm.
How to fight in school,
Yeah.
apparently.
Hit him with the old one.
Okay, world news. Essex police investigate reports of man taking dummies from babies' mouths. What?
Dude.
So if you say dummy in Canada, nobody knows what you're talking about. Or in the US, nobody knows what a dummy is.
You call it
But-
what? Pacifier?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why we call it here too.
pacifier.
Pacifier.
Yeah, but I just figured out because I was in Canada and my cousin is married to a British lady, and they just happened to come and visit while we were in Canada. And they have a baby, and she was like, "Where's the dummy?" I'm like, "Oh, everything connected for me," because I'm like, "Domi, domi, domi, dami,
Dummy.
domi,"
Yeah.
right?
Dummy,
like the Fijian
dummy.
word
Yeah.
for pacifiers is domi, domi, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, eh?
It's fidget.
Yeah, but it probably came from
Done.
dami,
I'm the British.
right? Like tilo, right? Same thing.
Chilo with what?
Like the guy who visited one of the
Tulo.
Tulo, yeah, to visit from.
Tulo. Go to
Yeah.
Tulo. Tulo.
Too
Tulo.
low.
So Tulo is what you say when you're walking past people who are sitting down on the ground usually, or when you have to get raised, you know, when you're getting up above like your elders or something like that, standing up, you say Tulo. And so the story goes that one of the first British, or you know, I believe he's British, people to came and he was visiting in a chief's house, and he got up and I think he hit his head on the roof or something, one of the burre, and he was like, "Oh, this roof is too low.
Tulo.
It's too low," as he's walking, and then that's where
And that's where
too low, too low, too
Chilo
low, too
comes.
low. That's what I've heard, and lots of people say that.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
is it true or is it not true? It's folklore. I don't know. Anyways, this is a weirdo stealing dummies from babies' mouths. Oh, they have like a full description of this of the suspect, dude.
Oh, dude.
The problem is this guy's probably a freaking weirdo. Like, he might be doing weird things with those dummies. Like weird things. Like, I mean, what do you do? Like, not even weird. What if you just take them home and suck on them? And that's what, like,
Oh,
you enjoy.
okay,
That's what-
okay,
well, he's
yeah.
obviously a weirdo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's obviously a
And you find
psychopath.
satisfaction from
Yeah, exactly.
like
Moving on.
taking. Okay. All right.
All right.
Next
That
question.
got weird. Okay, yeah, this one. My wife has a terminal illness and she wants to have sex with her ex one last time. So,
Bro. Bro.
I'm
That,
gonna read this because this is from a broken world and messed up people.
that is crazy, man.
Posted on Reddit 2 years ago, the anonymous man alleged his wife of a decade had just 9 months to live. The original post was deleted, but it has been reposted and has since resurfaced. So this is going around on Instagram. My wife has a terminal disease. She's projected to live at most 9 months. I'm, of course, destroyed. We've been together for a decade. I don't remember life without her, and I don't know what I'm going to do when she's gone. I've been doing my best to make the last days of her life good and grant whatever wish I can. He explained that his wife would need a wheelchair for 4 to 5 months, and that she would be bedridden if she didn't decline faster. To add the man's sadness over losing his wife, she reportedly asked him if she could be the most physically compatible. She could be with the most physically compatible lover she's ever had, her former flame.
Wow.
Recently, she sat me down and told me that one of the last things she wanted to do was have sex with a previous partner of hers. I, of course, was shocked. And when asked why the F she wants that, he lamented. So basically, she thinks her most physically compatible, satisfying lover with him was him. She gave a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotionally fulfilling sex is. But it was BS to get to that point, he continued. Wow, this is a long article. So, oh my gosh. So I'll read the last part of his quote. So, and I quote, "So now I'm left with this. Deny my dying wife a wish for my own ego, or let her go screw another man who she feels was better. Honestly, I'm so pissed off and betrayed that she asked this of me. I feel like I'm put in a prison where I have to say yes because she's dying. I know what I want to say, but I don't know if that's right. I'm just so hurt that sex with an ex was apparently so good that she needs to do it once more before she dies. I just hate everything about this," he added. So that's just. I mean, that's totally messed. Do you think that's real?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, bro, screw it, man. Like,
Yeah, I don't like at that point.
let her die there.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah. Man, that's probably the most broken couple you've ever heard of in your life. Like to hear that.
Imagine getting
I
the
mean-
news firsthand.
That's like, I've
You'd
heard
be
like,
so you'd be so taken back if you were like getting that news.
Mm.
They're like,
Getting that request.
yeah.
Shit.
I mean, again, moving on. I mean, so they announced the Fiji team, hey?
yeah, today it's on the
What do you
lineup.
think?
Get the guys back.
I feel like this is like the strongest team that's ever formed.
Do you think so?
Yeah, except for that guy Mangala. I don't know why he's in that. He's a fullback. We'll see. I'll see how he performs.
I think it's because you had a really good performance the last couple times. With the last game against Japan, eh?
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Was he the last time? Was he a fullback?
fullback or wing? Can't remember.
No, he's always
Fullback. Yeah. But what about those two though? Tuisoba and Randandra.
Yeah. That's gonna be.
Oh, and Hambosi there.
Yeah,
Is it
Hambosi,
how
yeah.
Tuisoba and Hambosi? Wings.
Ambushi didn't play in any of the PNG match, eh?
Oh yeah, that's right. Why wasn't he playing in those
But he
matches?
plays in the
So, yeah.
Those two are
Vinaya
gonna be a
Hambosi.
beast, man.
I want to say I've never heard that name before.
he's from
Vinaya.
Ramos.
It's Nandronga name.
Yeah. Okay.
From Ramos.
Namosi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Vinaya Hambosi from Ramos.
Oh, from Namushi.
Oh.
Oh,
right.
Pori.
Poro Regan.
Yeah, I mean, like one person that always like amazes me that like he makes it to all these matches is Melin Dernagi.
Every time.
He's
He-
at
He's
Luso.
such a not amazes me, but he's like one of those guys. He doesn't really, he never gets the limelight,
Mm.
but he's just such a hard worker,
Mm.
and like he's in everything.
Mm.
Like he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And he's not the one scoring the tries or making the big yards, but
Yep.
he's like, you know, jackling the ball.
Yep.
He's trying to, you know, disrupt the rucks.
Mm.
He's, you know, really effective in the lineup and
Mm.
everything. So, yeah. He's like he's probably one of the most impressive talents I would say has come out of Fijian rugby in the last 10 years. Like his ability to play sevens at such a high level.
Mm.
Like there's lots of guys who play sevens and 15s, but are never really the stars, you know, or like never really stand out. But he's captain the sevens team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he captained the 15s.
15s.
And then
Rua.
Then Rua.
Mm.
So like, I don't know. I think it's a matter of time before he probably, like, and he's still pretty young.
Yeah, gonna
Like
be
I bet
captain
you
of the
next World
World
Cup
Cup
he'll be
for
one of the ups for captain.
Yep.
I bet.
Mm.
I love the impacts that we have. So like with Ravai,
same material.
we have Kurovoli. He's a really good impact. Tusui, like, I mean, Wainingolo. That's an amazing like just those players alone, and there's more. That's gonna be
Yeah.
really good.
Now Levu is not playing.
Oh,
And Celestino.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. Yeah, Celestino's not playing.
Yeah, they'll be playing the next one with
Okay.
England.
Or Australia.
Against England.
England, the next test match before the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, this is the Australia.
Against England.
England, the next test match before the World Cup.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, this is the.
For
Oh,
France
this is France. Okay.
Mm.
Yes.
on Sunday
But
morning.
you know what's brutal? I just realized for whatever reason, is like Fiji's first games in the World Cup are Wales and Australia.
Mm.
From the previous World Cups, 2 times they've been playing Wales and Australia.
That's a brutal way to start a World Cup campaign.
That's right.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah.
Like lotto ball, like they just it's like a
Load of ball.
like
They'll
it's just
pick
like
it
a-
up.
Yeah, they must not like plan it out. It must just be like they of a
so.
dice kind of thing.
Because I don't know how they. Oh, they pick.
Yeah, or something like
Rugby
that.
ball as well.
Oh,
Is that how
okay.
they do it?
They
Yeah.
pick
Okay.
it. Oh, okay.
From the last World Cup.
So
But this will be
This is
like
the-
the first time too. They'll be singing the national anthem in Fijian. It's okay. First time in a long time. Yeah.
sweet.
So
Bentang tahun.
that'll be interesting to
Mm.
watch. Cause it's been a while. I don't know when's the last time. Eh?
What do you think about that?
I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like, I know it's
Like
secular
other
state, right? But like with other big countries, they sing it in there.
them
Their
theirs
dialect.
in
Well, they're
English,
there.
like a verse in their own dialect and the other ones in English. Like
I mean,
New
look at
Zealand,
South
they do
Africa.
Right,
Look at
yeah,
New
yeah.
Zealand.
Yeah.
They can do it like that.
I don't know why we stopped, but like,
Mm.
it's good that they brought it back. Yeah.
If I was Indo-Fijian, I feel like it would be isolating though.
A bit, yeah. I
That's
feel
always
like
so. I'm trying. That's the thing.
Okay,
like,
that
I've always
part.
seen the
Alright.
world. I've always seen them. Like, goes back to like the beginning of the conversation. I've always seen the world through. Because I feel like I'm not trying to be a narcissist here. I just feel like I always see like. I always feel like I connect with more than like just like one race or
Right,
culture. So
right.
I just feel like naturally my thought goes to like the people who are excluded,
but
who
that,
might feel.
but that if they include that too, in the future, I don't know when. That'd be
Sick.
really
Like
good.
just the first verse Fijian, and the chorus can be English or something. Like that.
Yeah.
Like
So-
the other countries, New Zealand, they have in Maori and English. And there's plenty of Fijian there. They can sing the national.
Yeah,
anthem.
but like Fijians are not from New Zealand.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Indo-Fijians are from Fiji.
Yeah.
Like we have 3 national languages.
Yeah.
Whereas like in or like say New Zealand, it's like Maori, and it's like a melting pot, right?
Yeah.
So same thing in South Africa. Like, they have a lot of different dialects and everything in lots of different languages. I mean, lots of people speak Dutch in South Africa because that's where a lot of the white people came from. And so, yeah, I just wonder if it feels isolating for people who don't speak the language. When you feel, say, I'm an Indian guy and if you are where you from, I am from Fiji. I am Fijian. And then the national anthem is sung in a language like you don't understand or speak. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I see how that makes sense.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to see I definitely see the Itoke side and be like, oh, that's sick. That's awesome. Right? Because that's our language. Because I feel like language and culture are like they're intertwined, but they're also separate a little bit because you can isolate people from within your nation by choosing a language or not choosing a language. So I don't know, but I think the best thing that they ever did was to put the people's names and the village where they're from on their jerseys.
Yeah.
I think that was the sickest thing. Because then, if you're an Indo-Fijian who plays rugby, I had a friend he was an Indian guy who played for the Fiji Bati back in the day.
Yeah.
What?
No. Like you were saying, if Indo-Fijian plays for the
Oh, well, I had a fully blown Indian friend who played for Fiji Bati back in 2003 or 2004.
The World Cup.
I don't know if he played in the World Cup.
Should I? No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Lucas. I can't remember what his first name was. But because then putting the place where they're from and the name is inclusive of everybody. I don't know.
Only in the New Zealand team, one Fiji Indo guy was playing sevens. Rocky Khan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's a playmaker for
Yeah.
the New Zealand team.
Rocky Khan?
Rocky Khan.
Okay.
I think it was a
Fiji Indo.
halfback.
Sick. Yeah. I wish there was more Indo-Fijians playing rugby.
Yeah.
I am beginning a trend.
like at a high level. I wish there was
Yeah.
like somebody out there.
That'll
There was,
be so good.
What was his name? He used to play for the Northern Sharks. Jack Prasad.
Jack Prasad.
Remember?
Yeah.
But he was
He's not Indian.
he was
He's probably part.
he was
Like
part,
only
right?
He's Malo.
His side must have been Fijian.
Yeah, like he was part. But anyways,
Yeah, but that's
At least-
count. That count.
yeah, but that was high level,
Yeah.
and he was good. Where is he now? What happened to him?
Probably migrated.
Yeah, I wonder where. Where's Jack Prasad, everybody? Tell us where he's from.
Find him.
Find Jack.
Wakatawa. Hurim Wakatawa gitu tali.
Mm.
He's playing again.
Who?
Hurim Wakatawa.
Wakatawa.
He used to play for France.
Oh, but I thought he had a heart condition. So
Yeah.
there's a guy who used to play for the France national team. Virim Wakatawa. And then he had to quit because of a heart condition. So he's playing again?
Yeah.
For who?
Against Samoa, Barbarians.
Oh, really?
He's
Weird.
the center.
Oh, okay.
And the doctor checked him again and there's nothing else wrong with his heart.
Huh.
So he's playing for Samoa.
For the Barbarians.
Is that
Playing for
World
Samoa.
Barbarian. Like
not the Samoan team?
against Samoa 15.
Oh, okay,
By
okay.
the French barbarians.
Yeah, and there's plenty of
So-
Samoans in the team.
Nice.
He's the coach from Samoa, Petlem.
Next year I want to be on the
What do we
starting
got
line.
here? FCCC Act under review. So the FCCC, that's the Fiji Competition and Consumer Council Commission, is being reviewed with the aim of addressing specific issues prevalent in the country. So this person said in Fiji, so who is this person? Chief Executive Joel Abraham. Their aim is to identify and address any shortcomings or gaps that may hinder the effectiveness of the act. So like the problem, in my opinion, with FCCC or any consumer council, any price control, there is no way ever to close, because like once you start messing with the market and start controlling price, like there's no end to it. Like once you start, you just have to keep going, because there's no way to stop, and will utilize opportunities in the market, and they will increase the prices. And these opportunities, you must mean, are not only when you look at that. Look at when we had the first cases of COVID. People put up the prices because they knew there was going to be panic buying. During cyclones, the prices of generators and other things, they go up. Abraham says as a regulator, their role is to ensure that none of the price increases are artificial, and it is fairly applied to the market. This pisses me off so much, and I hate them so much for being in existence, because like your product is like supply and demand is the one truth and the only truth about business. So it is always true across all businesses. So in hurricanes, there's a huge supply there's a huge demand for generators. Therefore, people pay what they feel is worth to pay. If you don't have money, you won't pay for a generator. That's how that's how a market works. Because and then you say, oh, you're being greedy. Well, how do you classify greedy? Because the market tells you what's greedy. Because if you charge consumer commission, somebody else will just come and sell a generator for cheaper, and then I will go and just buy from the cheaper guy. So greed actually doesn't factor into it. But once you start messing with the market and start telling people what they can pay for things, and that that you're the overall authority for all this stuff, that's when you start getting problems. I want to read something for you guys that I have written down. Where was this? What do you think, Tui? While I'm finding this.
Well, yeah, I agree. Like
Don't let me put words in your mouth.
no, like the past was it past 2 weeks? Past 2 weeks, like the prices of when the VAT increased up to 15%,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people complaining
right.
about how ridiculous like the prices are, like the basic food items. There are some certain things that has zero VAT in it, but like with other things like chicken, most of people like complaining about how the prices of the chicken
Has it gone
is
up?
just, bro. Yeah, if
Really?
yeah,
Well, because I haven't bought a
yeah,
chicken
yeah,
since I've been
yeah,
back to Corsa.
yeah. So
But it
like,
has, eh?
yeah, it definitely has gone up, and like a lot of people's like, oh, we can't buy chickens because it's just too expensive for
Right.
us. Yeah.
You guys can come here. I got
Luckily
lots
for
of
us,
chickens.
yeah, we've
You
been
guys can
eating
take all my
chickens.
chickens. Come here and you can take them for free. I don't want any chickens around here. I will pay for chickens when I want to eat chicken, instead of having them all over my house. But what I want to say, or what, like, I read this like a long time ago, and I want to read this to you guys. So, prices are not a reflection of people's greed. Greed is a constant in human nature. Like self-interest is a constant in human nature. And self-interest can only be served by providing a product at a price at which people are willing to pay. Okay, I'll read again. Prices are not a reflection of people's greed. So that's what we've been taught in Fiji. Is that like if you raise the price in times of need, when you think lots of people are going to buy it, I'm going to raise the price, that's greedy. No, it's not greedy. Because greed is a constant. Like, we're all greedy. We all want more than we're worth. You want to get paid more for the job, and your boss doesn't think you do a good enough job to give you a raise. You want to pay less, and the shop owner wants to charge you more because he has a lot of bills and he has all this stuff, right? So greed is a constant. I think that I'm worth, like I said, more than I am, so I should get paid for more than I should get paid more than I do. And so self-interest can only be served by providing a product at a price at which people are willing to pay. So that's what I'm saying about the free market. Is people say it's greedy, but like my self-interest is to save money. So greed only goes so far, because as soon as another guy starts selling toilet paper in COVID or a generator for less, my self-interest then shifts to the guy that I'm going to save more money with. So like, people being greedy or not, yeah, we look at it as greed now because like you guys have like infected the market. But like if we would have left it alone, it would balance itself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that does make sense.
it does. It does. Definitely.
So people say like greed is like the thing that we have to combat, because like that's the big problem. But like as much as greed is a problem, self-interest is of top priority. So like self-interest will always control greed, because my self-interest is to save money. Does that make sense?
True.
And so like if you start charging too much, I'm gonna go to the cheaper guy because that's in my interest.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
in
this
your
guy, the
self-interest.
greedy
Yeah.
guy that we call greedy, you know what's gonna happen to him?
It's gonna
He's gonna
put it
lower
down.
the price,
Yeah.
right? And so that's what I think about the FCCC. But I think the reason they exist, and I don't think it's a good enough reason, but probably is because, like, say with flour, like it's basically controlled by like Punjas and FMF,
Yeah.
right? So if they got into bed together and they decided like, hey, we want to just start charging like $50 a kg for flour because nobody has any other options because we control the whole flour industry,
Right.
then they could screw everybody over. But it wouldn't take long for somebody to come across and be like, hey, I gotta charge $25 a kg, and then they'll cut down, and then eventually it would get down to like where they're just making enough to like, you know,
Yeah.
break even and
Break
make enough
even.
back to the old profits, right? Like a free market always controls itself. And once you start messing with it, like there's no, what did they say here? There's they have to identify and address any shortcomings or gaps. It's like there's no end to shortcomings or
Dude,
gaps once
that's
you
a
start
lot.
messing with the market.
Yeah.
So is there any
Got a question here from Vara. Jonathan, there's a lot of scammers trending nowadays. What's your opinion on this? As a health worker, most of my workmates are also in this platform, performing and partaking in it. What are your thoughts?
scammers? So yeah, like normal people are getting
Like pyramid schemes.
Like the pyramid schemes. I feel like there's one that's going on
It's
around
the eBay.
the
one.
eBay.
okay. So
So
describe it.
Like,
how does it work?
From what I heard, you invest like from
Pick him up to
600.
the mic. Sorry, Sam's in the background. Sam's our business admin, so Sam knows more about the situation than we do.
Yeah.
Just come up beside Tui, and then so we're gonna be talking. So what we're talking about is the eBay scam.
Yeah,
That's going.
but
So how do we get? How does the scam come about?
It's-
Like via text? or
It's more of an investment plan, like a pyramid
okay,
scheme.
okay,
So what I've heard is you invest a certain amount of money, and then after a month you get that back, or after 3 months,
okay,
and then you can keep upgrading your level of investment.
okay,
But there's a concern going around at the moment that people are getting like their payouts delayed.
right,
So that's probably one factor because it's happened before,
right,
like with the M-Pesa thing. You round up a bunch of friends, you pay this much to like, it's, I think it was a group of people that were running it,
okay.
and you're supposed to get X amount of money for X amount of investment, but a lot of people never got their money back.
Oh, I see. Right. So, I mean, so what was the question again?
What are your thoughts around like the scams that's going on? That's like a trend. So like
Right. Yeah.
right now it's
So,
eBay.
um,
What's your opinion on
yeah,
this?
I mean, people like try to scam, or there's like scam accounts that come through our comments all the time. Like we get it once or twice a week now. With like, you'll never believe how much money I made when I invested with. They take somebody. It'll change your life. Blah blah blah. And so the thing is that like I don't know what to say right now. Maybe this conversation will evolve. But like if it seems too good to be true, it is. It usually is. And so that's the this comes from me having done lots of like buying and selling on like marketplace and stuff like that in Canada in the past. So I used to buy and sell cars. I used to buy and sell motorcycles, and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'd find stuff that was like really cheap and like blew my mind how cheap it was. And every time that I would get in touch with somebody like this who was like, you know, so, you know, selling us such a good product at such a cheap price, it was always a scam. And sometimes you'd show up and it was like some super sketchy, like, oh, I don't have the paperwork for it. It was like, actually, that's not true. One time it did work out for me.
Did
I'll tell you guys about this story after. But it's like very rare. And so if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. And just stay away because those things just aren't real. I think the thing is that like in the age of internet and social media is still relatively new to Fiji. So this is like something that was happening like 10, 15 years ago in Canada, in the United States. And now most of these things are targeted at like the elderly and people who aren't very familiar with social media or the internet world. So if somebody tells you that like they can guarantee, here's the thing. If somebody says you are 100% guaranteed to make, because the only thing you're 100% guaranteed to make money on is like having a job with a paycheck. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like me as a business owner, I'm not 100% guaranteed to make money. Like, it's just like, how much risk do you want to take? And so if you are getting into something that has like, you know, very weak, like if you don't know the people at all and they're guaranteeing you like 100% positive results, it's definitely a scam because that doesn't happen in the real world. So I think it's silly, but that people are falling for it even. Like it's, don't bet on other people trying to make money. What did people say though? Anything?
Yeah, just like agreeing to what you say. Yeah. What's up, Dylan?
So guys, what do we got next up here? Okay, so we're talking about the anthem in Itoke. So Randandra, who's actually going to be the captain for the
This
next
game.
game?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The Fiji Water Flying Fijian players and management have been practicing singing the Itoke version of the national anthem this week in Pornic, France. The players and management requested the Fiji Rugby Union Trust and interim board trustees that they could sing the anthem in Itoke, which was approved before it was taken up to the government. Prime Minister said they've approved the request. Flying Fijians Captain Waisia Nadalevu says he respects that Fiji is a multicultural country, but the initial objective of the group is to reconnect with their roots. Crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, it's in our roots, eh? And their identity. He says singing the anthem E2K is part of that reconnection. Now the level adds the players have welcomed the news and are excited to sing it for the first time against France on Sunday. Now you just see all of them like, well, it's like they like forgot it or something. It sounds like they're learning it. I doubt they're learning it. Like they probably knew about it. They just maybe they just haven't practiced it in a long time, you know.
Yeah.
But
They
that's
used
exciting.
They used to play the national anthem in both languages on TV before,
What's that?
like on Fiji One. They used to play the national anthem
When was that?
So what?
like mid 2000s.
Yeah. But why would they play the national anthems back then?
It was like every day at 12 o'clock midday and before the 6 p.m. news. They play the national anthem.
Right.
And even at night,
Yeah.
10, 11.
I don't know if they still do it though. I haven't watched TV in ages.
Right. Yeah. You want the soccer ball? I don't know where it is. Do you guys know where it is? Can you get it?
Yeah, go.
Industry defies global crisis. Tourism industry continued. So let's talk about tourism industry in general. Continue to perform well despite inflationary pressures faced by travel partners such as Australia and New Zealand. So the CEO of Visit Tourism Fiji, Brent Hill, recorded June of this year alone recorded 90,000 tourists, which is equivalent to 106% increase over the figures achieved in June 2019.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So that's pre-COVID.
Oh, pre-COVID.
Yeah. So 106% increase. So I'm sorry, I'm like mind blanking here. 106% increase, is that like, so if they had 2 tourists in 2019, say,
Yeah.
then they're saying they have more than 4 now, or they have,
Because a 50% increase would be 1. 100% increase would be 2.
right, so they doubled.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry guys, I'm having a mind blank. I'm like thinking about something else. Like, okay. Australia and New Zealand contribute 70% of arrivals. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised about that. That it's so high. That they're having such good numbers. I guess like what you need, like with anything, like if you're reading the Bible or if you're reading news articles like we are now, is like what was happening with the economies in Australia and New Zealand in 2019. So it's a similar thing like in the States right now. The government in power is like bragging about like, you know, how they brought, you know, all these jobs back. Like 14 million new jobs created this year. It's like, yeah, because 50 million people lost their jobs. So it sounds good, but when you have the context of the situation, but like it sounds good. Like it sounds really good. It sounds like we're doing a good job.
Marketing and all.
Yeah. Some of the data that we are seeing, which is really encouraging, is that we have seen analysts telling us that Australian households, the propensity to spend on holidays is actually increasing to upwards of around 8 to 9% of their income, regardless of economic condition. I know, at least when I was back in Canada, the overall, and you guys might be surprised to hear this, but people feel really pushed up against the wall. They feel lots of people are very depressed because of inflation. And I know people personally that are willing to just get 4 or 5 credit cards and go traveling because they just want to forget about their situation.
For real.
Because they just feel like there's no hope and they just want to get out of town, like just for a break.
And then coming
Well,
back
because
with a
COVID's just
ton
been
of
such a
credit.
long slog, right?
Yeah.
Not that that's a good idea, but people are so desperate for a change in scenery that they'll do whatever they can to just like
Go.
get out of Dodge for a little while.
And then come back and
Yeah.
pay pay for it later.
Yeah, because I think the thing with inflation, and especially with the amount of inflation that they're seeing overseas right now, is like a lot of people have lost their purpose because inflation at the levels that they see it right now is making people feel like why am I doing this? Like I got a raise, a $2,000 raise, but it cost me $3,000 a year more, $3,000 more a year to live. You know, so it's just like I think that's the. I was listening to a podcast a couple months ago. I was just talking about this with my dad today about how a guy was asking a Christian business podcast, and the guy asked him like, "What do you think about burnout? Like, what causes burnout?" And I thought the guy had a great answer. He said like, he's like, I think burnout is just the loss of purpose, because you can be working to the same levels that you were before, but without purpose, it feels like why am I doing this? And I think that a lot of people overseas are feeling like this. Why am I doing this? Screw it, I might as well go see the world. You know, I might as well go see Fiji's the closest thing to go see. I don't know,
Well,
but that's exciting.
Yeah.
That people are coming to Fiji.
talking about like where we're at, like this topic about credits and debt, right? A lot of people use credit cards back in like back in Canada or like
Yeah.
all over the world, right? Like there's always this life, right?
Yeah.
And they have to like pay everything in credit cards with credit cards, but they're
Yeah.
just full of debt.
Yeah.
You think you got their fancy cars,
Oh, yeah.
this nice house. You know, we were talking about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
in one of the lives. Like it all looks so good, but they are living in debt. My question is like from the biblical, from like a Christian perspective, is what happens when you die
like with the debt.
with the debt, and like in like from I'm coming from the Christian angle, you die living off a bigger debt.
Right.
Would you make it to heaven or no?
Right. Right. Like if you die with
Yeah,
debt.
yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well, the bank is always gonna get what's theirs.
but
Right?
yeah,
Because like at the end of the day, like okay, if I live my whole life in debt with multiple credit cards, like the bank has made back 5 or 10-fold in interest whatever my debt is that I die with. So like even if I die with debt, the bank has like made it back already.
but like your moral. How do you feel? Like, have you ever like actually thought of that? Like, do you feel like a big weight on your shoulder? Like, I think like from the Bible
Right.
perspective of like having debt, you know, like give Caesar what belongs to Caesar,
Right, yeah.
right? And like in the Bible it says like that is one of like a no
Yeah,
no,
well, yeah, debt like
or like owing
debt
somebody.
with no intention of paying it back. I think
Yeah.
yeah. Psalm 37 is like the wicked borrow money and do not pay it back or something like that. And so I think like debt with no intention of paying it back is sinful. And I think debt like belonging, like because when you have debt, like personal debt for no reason, like I'm just going to buy a car or buy a TV or whatever like that for no reason, I think it's irresponsible. And being irresponsible would infer sinfulness, right? Because irresponsible doesn't describe the traits of somebody who loves Jesus, I think. So I don't think like if you're in a case where like you have to declare bankruptcy, like I don't know if that's a sin because like the bank will get what's theirs, and it's not like you declare bankruptcy and you're all good. Like the bank's still gonna like you're never free from that necessarily, right? So
I found the verse.
what's that?
The Psalm 37 verse.
Okay, yeah.
It's in King James. But the wicked borrows, but does not pay back. But the righteous is generous and gives.
Okay, so the wicked borrows and does not pay back, but the righteous is generous and
Gives.
Yeah. So again, we'd have to look at the context of that verse, but
Definitely.
that's what it says in the Bible.
Mm.
So I think the context to me is that like he borrows but does not pay it back,
Mm.
like lots of people borrow.
Scam.
What do you think?
Normally, oh man, normally is always always dropping those like
What do you
comments. It's like after I die, that collector will knock on Satan's door asking to see me.
You go for it, Norm. Go for it. Yeah, I mean, I think we all incur debt of different sorts over, different points of our life. Personally, like, we're in a stage that we've never been at, like at a debt level that we've never personally been at. And like, it's not much compared to other people. And the debt that we have is not like personal weird debt. It's all like investment for business. And so, like, I believe that I think we talked about this last week. I believe I can borrow $30,000 from the bank at 3% interest, but I think I can make that 30,000 make 10% or 20% for us. So to me, it's like it's worth it. But like, I think it's just shifting your like if you're a person who struggles with debt, and I don't actually that's a great thing about Fiji is not many people have credit cards, because even in Fiji like credit cards are not really credit cards because there's no credit rating system and there's no way for banks to track down people. Like if you want a credit card with like a $10,000 limit, you have to go give $10,000 to the bank as a bond, and then you can get a credit card with 10,000. So it's like I'm just spending my money then.
Yeah.
And you just have my money.
Yeah.
And so it's like I would rather just take that 10 grand and make it work for me, because that's what the banks do, and they're gonna take your money and they're gonna go make their 4 or 5% interest on your money. Well, so like they're gonna take your money and loan it to somebody else at 3% interest, and then you're gonna get a credit card and you're gonna pay interest on the credit card. So they're gonna make 3% off the money or 5% off the money that like you gave to them, and then you're gonna borrow money that you didn't actually need to borrow because you already had it, and they're gonna make more money. Because I went to BSP and I asked them like, hey, what's the deal with credit cards? Because like business credit cards are useful for tracking expenses. It's easier because you can just go online, there's a statement, and you can just see the expenses. And they're like, yeah, if you want, I'm like, how about $10,000 limit? They're like, yeah, then you just have to give us the bond for 10 grand. I'm like, well, that defeats the purpose, and that's a hard pass.
Yeah.
Because then I'm just getting raked over the coals at that point. I heard a really, really interesting take by someone recently, and they were talking about I can't remember who. They were talking about how, like, a lot of governments in the world are wanting to go cashless. I mean, our country is trying to go cashless a lot, too. I've been cashless for a long time. Like, I didn't even carry my wallet around in Canada. Like, I just use my phone to pay for things. It's getting to that point now. But like the interesting part about money is like if I have a $50 bill, and like haircuts are expensive overseas, okay? So I have a $50 bill, I go to the barber, get a haircut worth $50. That $50 bill.
Yeah.
That barber goes to the grocery store, or goes to like, some grocery store, like family-owned grocery store. He gives $50 for groceries. It's still $50. That $50 then goes, and the grocery store owner goes washes his car for $50. It gets a detail. The thing's still $50. But when you go cashless, like, I spend $50, and the bank charges 1.5% interest on that. That same $50 gets spent again at 1.5% interest. It's spent again at 1.5% interest, and eventually the bank has all the money. Because you keep eating away at the $50 at 1.5% interest or whatever the interest rate is. Right. Eventually you're left with no money, and the bank has everything. Does that make sense? So that's like a scary thought. I was like, oh, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, I mean, maybe everybody else here has realized that already. I'm just an idiot.
I know.
Oh yeah, tomorrow we are going to a gender reveal. I won't say for who, but I've never been to a gender reveal before.
Me too.
Yeah?
No.
First one?
First one.
Yeah. We're going to whip out the
Let's document it.
Sony?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to whip out the the new camera,
Mm.
and we'll show you guys some of the pictures from that. You excited?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the 200 is the 70 to 200.
70.
Yeah.
100, yeah.
And somewhere in between. And somewhere in between. What lenses do we have?
There's a 16. Like that's a prime lens.
Yeah, the 1.4 one.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
16,
get the
yeah.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
for the night.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Where do the kids go to school? I know I'm just young to have this kind of things. My kids go to the Muslim school. I don't really understand the question exactly, but my kids go to school at the Muslim school. So, I don't know. That's just the place where it's a bit further out of town, like the reason we chose it, and so less people. The class sizes are smaller. Not small, but smaller than the school in town. So there's a bit more focus, individual focus, I
Right,
guess,
right.
spent with each of the kids. And a lot of the village kids go to that school actually. So like a lot of the boys, like small uncles and cousins and stuff, go to school. So it's nice to be on break time or recess, and they like see their friends and stuff like that. So that's really good school. You back in Fiji? No, I'm not back in Fiji actually. Like I said before,
This is a green screen.
green screen.
Yeah.
So we got the kids in the background, like all the sound effects. That's
Yeah.
Thanks to our sound man back there. And this whole set is actually because of tree. So it looks pretty real though, hey?
Yeah.
Looks really, really
Yeah.
real.
How's the weather in Canada?
How's the weather in Canada?
Yeah.
It was hotter than Fiji, but not as humid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's summertime right now. So where we come, like yesterday it was 39 degrees.
Really?
Where Stephanie was? Yeah. So,
And where you at?
huh?
Where you
where
at?
you at?
Like the weather, where
Not
you
with
at?
Stephanie, where Stephanie is.
Yeah, Stephanie and me, we've decided I decided to take the lead and come and clean the house for her. So that answers the next question. Where is all the furniture? Thank you, Jess. Is Jess in this today?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, where's all the furniture in your house? Well, how do I say this? So, in the village, like you share the house with people, right? No, that's not how everybody lives, but that's how our families live. And so, not everybody has the same standards. And so, when I came back, the current situation didn't meet my standards. So, I decided to take action to the point of
Cleaning up.
basically doing a renovation.
Yeah.
So we broke out the paint, we broken out tools. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone too far.
Broken
But it's
down
gonna be
the
worth it. It's gonna be worth it.
We were like, we're just gonna clean this corner. Okay. What about the living room?
Most
Okay,
of it
let's
is
go there. All right.
yeah, we're just
At this
doing
point,
this-
we're just having fun, just cleaning up the whole house.
Yeah, pretty much. We've just taken it way too far. So the reason that we're doing this on the ground is because the house it's just too clean for it's too clean for this. So you guys, yeah. The veranda has nothing on it right now. There's not piles of shit all over the veranda. So, tell us more about the new camera. Why did you choose that camera?
That's a good question.
Oh, before I move on though, yeah, with the house, that's just the case of like when you live together in communal living. So I love our family. It's just like, hey, sometimes if you want to do something, you just have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And I think it teaches me a lot of patience. And actually, like this sounds really, really lame and pretty weak, but like I have a very full inbox right now on email and a lot of stuff that I should be taking care of. And so this moment is like really testing my patience because it's been very frustrating to be doing this while I know I have other things to do. I just know that this needs to be done. And so, yeah, I've had to lean hard into like my devotions and stuff like that this week because I've been so frustrated. Or I tend to get frustrated very often when I'm delayed like this. So, yeah, Bible's been open a lot in my bed, reflecting. It's been What are you laughing at?
Normally, you
Oh.
need to method stewardize the veranda.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I might just start a big fire and just,
Mother stewardize the
Yeah,
veranda.
I do.
This.
I need to hire that Japanese organizing lady on Netflix from a few years ago to come in here and organize. Did you watch that documentary ever?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
It came past, and I watched it a little
That's
bit.
something else. So right after that documentary, like, because we are in the cleaning industry,
Mm.
and so Stephanie actually got like a bunch of jobs where people just wanted their house organized,
Mm.
and so people are paying like $50 an hour just for her to go and sit in their wardrobe and be like, "You want to keep this? Throw it. Throw it. Keep this or throw it. Keep it." And then like just like fold clothes and like organize stuff nicely in like good ways. So that was funny. So I need that in my life. Oh hey dude, sit. Good boy. Nice. Wait. You want to eat? Just stand straight to the camera. Can you see him in the camera?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
funny. That's my dog Harley. He's named after my grandma and grandpa's dog, who half husky and half wolf in Canada. And so I don't know if you like Harley, like the motorcycle Harley Davidson. So well, Harley is not half wolf, but he's half bull mastiff. Yeah, he's half mastiff, half Rottweiler.
Ah.
So yeah, he's a good dog though. He's really really chill. So I've been learning lots of patience, leaning into the Bible, because it's so the good thing about that, and the interesting thing about that is like I get into bed and I have no wife for like the next 2 weeks, and so I'm like, well, I need to read my Bible, and so I do it, and then I just fall asleep. We're usually like, you talk, and then you like, whatever, we talk about business a lot. That's just what we enjoy, and then we usually like end up starting the show, and I end up falling asleep within like the first 2 seconds. So now I like read my Bible, I open my laptop, and then like start watching like a YouTube video or something like that, and it's like a 2-minute video, and that's all I watch, and I never make it past that video. So, yeah, been lonely.
Okay.
So tell us more about the new camera. Why did you choose that camera? So I actually chose that camera because it had really good reviews, and it's still one of the best cameras that you can get. It's a couple years old now, but it's like the second best Sony camera that you can get. I think the A9 is like the big brother, and basically all that gives you is more. Maybe it is 9 just takes more pictures. Like it's faster. It has a faster shutter, I guess. Is that what it
It
means?
takes 10 frames per
This
second.
one does?
Per second.
So this one still takes 10 frames per second. So if you take a picture and you hold mode or whatever it's called, like you hold the shutter down, it'll take 10 pictures in 1 second. So we're guaranteed not to miss a shot. So that was actually important to me, is like having that ability. It's also got a really, really big like sensor, so it will like be really good with like our ability to edit it or edit the photos. We'll have like a lot of dynamic range and be able to mess around with color grading and stuff like that and bring the best possible product. And this camera, the gentleman that I bought it from, it came with 7 lenses. So when I priced everything out, it was over $10,000 Canadian worth of gear, and so I got it for less than half of that. So it was a really, really good deal. And then, but we've got like tons of other like studio equipment and stuff coming our way as well, lighting and stuff like that. So that's why I chose that camera.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Because of this new business that we're
Yeah.
venturing on.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. So and yeah, we're also getting ready to launch a new business. So we'll be able to be able to do and family functions and stuff like that, like provide you photography services.
Commercials.
And then also get into the marketing side of assisting people with business, whether that's here or overseas. Building up people's social medias, creating content for them, editing content, filming content, having a studio where basically what I would like to get to the point is that I'm not always like the face of like the Waka brand, and so, like working in like Mudview and office boy stuff, having Croy, be on the farm and Tui, like just slowly like building other people up to be able to, be the face of the brand, and so my intention with this was never to like be famous. I just know that like telling our story is the best way to get there, and so eventually I will be contacting you guys who are on this live, and telling you guys about our business, and asking you guys if you guys have anybody that could use services. So like we want to build websites for people. We want to maintain websites. We want to take the pictures for them. We want to build out your social media. We want to get you traction. We want to get you leads, gift offers. And so if you guys or anybody that you know might be looking for somebody to do that, I feel like I have a proven track record with our ability to, run businesses and, build out social media and do it in a digital way. So if you know anybody who might be looking for services, and like our goal mission is literally to provide employment opportunities. And so I feel like this is the best way to provide employment opportunities and scale quickly is through tech. And so like if I get 50 businesses who want us to like build their social media and websites, like I can instantly, you know, I can employ 10 people, and all I need is like laptops and internet connection. So that's what we're going for. And this is, a lot of this is related back to the fact that like then helps us do work with all this, and work in the agriculture sector, which takes a lot of capital. And so, yeah, that's why we got the camera, because we're going to be launching a new business. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you for the question. What key characteristics do you look for when hiring employees? Oh, look at Jess with the questions. Well, it's like there's things that I can teach and there's things that I can't teach. And like I can teach you how to edit a video or to, drive the tractor, or, create a brand manual. But like I can't teach you how to be honest. I can't teach you how to take initiative. And so there's some things that are like character traits, and like honesty, integrity is like one of them. And so the characteristics that I look for is somebody who has a lot of potential. And the problem with that is you also, working with people who have a lot of potential but never fully realize it. And so we've been burned by that in the past. So the goal is to like help people realize their full potential. That will sometimes result in, hiring somebody and like getting people trained, and then them thinking like, oh, I can do what you do because I get offers from everybody else, and it's like, to do the same work. And then they go and do that work and they realize, oh, holy crap, it takes a lot of work to like market and do advertising and pay taxes and FNPF and employment insurance. And you gotta like email, like you gotta go to work and then you gotta go home and answer emails and you gotta answer calls, and then you realize like, oh, all of my customers are actually my boss, when now that I'm the boss, I have no boss. And so, yeah, sometimes, you end up with people who get headhunted or end up going and doing their own things, and that's just like the reality of business. But I think the way that we do it is like, try to find good, honest people with a heap of potential who align with our values and our mission and vision, and then try to build businesses around them, I guess, or build businesses because, our intention is to create employment opportunities. And so, like, if you're not, like, the way I always looked at it when I was an employee was like, if I'm not building my dreams, then I'm building somebody else's. And so, so now as a business owner, if I can try to come alongside people and like build their dreams, because my dream is just to employ people and have profitable businesses, then like everybody's winning, right? So, yeah, long answer.
Good.
Thank you.
Is there any questions?
No.
All right.
Well, we gotta show them the video.
Oh, yeah. Can they see it from here? So Jay
Yeah.
sent me a video when he was at an arcade food court, right?
A food court. So that
Are we
was
gonna name where it is?
yeah,
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
So
Where was it?
that was the week. I think there was like the second last week before I came.
Right. So
Oh,
Tui went to Suva for a little bit while
hmm,
he had a death in the family, and so you were in Suva, or you were in
yeah,
Beatty Live for a couple weeks, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, while I was there, there's this favorite spot that I love going to and eat. That was the spot that we and Steph and Eliki went to the last time.
What is the
So
restaurant there? Like, what kind of food is it?
they got like Chinese, like Grace Road is up there. There's different. It's a food court, eh?
Yeah, but sorry, what is the restaurant that you like to go to? Or you
It's
just like all the restaurants?
no, it's just a specific one. It's called Yang's Restaurant,
Okay. So
and
got,
they
like,
serve
noodle
like
dishes?
they got like soup, wontons. They got
I mean, you didn't say Yang, and then I assumed noodle dishes. I'm
okay,
just,
yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and it's so good,
Where's
and with the
it
soup,
located?
like whoa, it hits the spot. I think I went there a couple of times while I was in school.
Yeah.
Like, there was moments where I was like, just stop. Like, should I go? Like, no, I'll just go for like another place. But like, and I'll be standing there, in up at the food court, looking at the food. Like, can I take your order? I was like, no, I'm going back down. And then I was like, a few seconds, nah, screw this. I'm coming back up.
That restaurant?
That restaurant.
That's funny.
So there's a lot of like tables, right? And the tables there are like plastics, and like in the middle.
Yeah.
But like on the sides, they have this long,
Like bar tables.
long
walls,
bar,
kind of. But
long
not,
bar
yeah.
tables. So like that day, I was like looking, and it was jam packed
Yeah.
inside there. So that was the only space that
Yeah.
was like a few people
Like
that were
single
sitting
bar
there.
stool seats,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And so I just, all right, I'll just go there and sit down there and eat. So while I was eating, halfway through my food, and then I just like, you know, how you lean your what do you call it?
Elbows.
Your elbows on the side of the table and you eat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was eating,
Like
and
the
then
table's here, and
yeah,
you like
yeah,
you have your
yeah,
hands like on
yeah,
the edge of the table.
right.
Yeah.
And I was eating, and then I felt this like peanut needles on my elbows. Like
Where?
I feel like screw, what's going on in my elbow? And then I pulled back, and then I saw the edge of the table. I was like,
There's all
bro, I was like, oh my gosh, is
Can
this
you
for
see
real?
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I decided to record it. Yeah.
There?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Where is it?
Super Central.
BSP Central upstairs. I had coffee there.
Oh yeah.
I had coffee.
And all this thing just like creeping out.
That's good.
There's all these bed bugs, bro. It was like
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh.
The place is crawling.
it was just crawling, just like if you guys could see that, see the edge, like that gap. Those are all
Point at that screen, at my screen.
yeah, all bed bugs.
Oh.
Right.
Man.
And you can see the poops, like the black spot. Those are like the shit.
Oh,
The shits.
yeah.
Yeah. So the whole of this table,
Oh.
and they were just like creeping out, like,
Oh.
and I just like
That just made my
got
skin crawl.
goosebumps, and I was like, no way. I
Oh.
took my bag out of that, and then there's
Dude.
this gentleman that was sitting next to me. I was like, "Hey, Mister, you gotta get like stand up and let's move from here." It's like, what's going on? I was like, look at the edge of the
It
table.
was there on his side too?
Yeah, because
Oh.
the whole of that table, and he
Oh.
had these little bed bugs just crawling.
So BSP Central.
Yeah,
food court?
yeah, Super Central on
Super
top.
Central
Yeah,
in the BSP Plaza.
yeah,
Food court.
food court.
You gotta.
I don't know if they did anything about it or they closed it down. I really don't know.
Okay.
But I just like filmed it. Like
But seriously,
I'm gonna keep
that's-
this.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is that like it's not the fault of theirs. like people have bed bugs and they bring the bed bugs in. That's just a fact of like the boat. That's a fact of the bus. Like at any point at in any country, you can get bed bugs, but like that's pretty bad, right?
Bro.
But also the thing is like maybe nobody's ever told them. But also
Yeah.
maybe the cleaning staff needs to do a better job.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Suva Central BSP Plaza upstairs food
Yeah.
court. You need to bring in Rent to Kill or somebody, some pest control person, and do an extermination. Close the doors, hide your wives, hide your kids, because there's bed bugs out here. And on that note, we're gonna shut this down. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back on Monday at 4:30. If you guys got any questions or anything, please DM us. We like to talk. We enjoy this moment with everybody. Until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.